Hey guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me. I love these videos. They're probably one of my favorite types of videos to film. One of you guys actually requested a specific look, and it's the look that I was wearing in my flashback favorites video. It was like a peach and yellow kind of look. I used a couple of shades, a couple of ColourPop shadows. The main stars of the show were Tiki and Wait For It. It's this yellow and peach shades there, so I'm going to recreate that look today. It's a really fun look, probably one of my favorite makeup looks that I've ever done. I'm just now starting to get brave and play with color more on my eyes, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And this, I feel like this look turned out really well, and I'm excited to recreate it for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Drinking my tea. Look at this adorable mug. I got it at Goodwill. I wish I could tell you like where it actually came from, but just got it at Goodwill, where all great things come from. So my hair's a little bit wet, so I'm going to pull it back. So I'm going to start out with just some primer. The one that I'm working on using up right now is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer, so that's what I'm going to use today. I just do like a full pump. And I've already put SPF on my face, so we're good there, don't you worry. I'm really happy because it's actually sunny out today, and I don't think we have any rain on the forecast for today, which is probably the first time that's happened in at least 2 weeks. I don't know. I know there was a tropical storm. Probably has something to do with it, but we've been getting rain and thunderstorms every single day. And it hasn't been like an all-day, everyday thing, but like every day we can expect to get at least one storm. And it always seems to be like right when I need to leave the house, so, or like right when I'm getting out of my car. But enough complaining. I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation. Just, again, the foundation that I'm working on using up right now. I used to not use the spatula thing to actually apply it to my face. I used to just put it on the back of my hand because I felt like that was more hygienic. But now that it's almost gone, I'm just like, forget it. I'm just going to do this because it's easier, even though I don't understand who came up with this applicator. I really don't understand. It's not my favorite. I'm just going to blend that in with my Flower Beauty sponge. I could layer on more foundation to get more coverage if I wanted to, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. Actually no, I think I am going to add just a little bit more. The sponge really does shear out the coverage quite a bit, but I like the way that it looks better with the sponge. I feel like it looks a little bit less cakey that way, so I'm going to pile it on a little bit more. So I am going to correct and conceal my under eyes. I'm using the Pixi under eye corrector. If I look exceptionally tired today, it's because I got a very, very poor night's sleep last night. I think I must have got some kind of stomach bug of some sort. I don't know. I'm feeling better now, but I was up like all night basically, just not doing too well. So, but yeah, better now. But that was weird. I don't know if it was something I ate or what, but needless to say, my eyes are probably looking quite tired, so I'm going to try to fix that. So that's the corrector. I always just apply that with my fingers, and then I go over it with a skin tone concealer. I need to go get my brushes. Those might come in handy. Once again, Wet n Wild Photofocus. I have it in the shade Light Ivory, and then the foundation was in Nude Ivory. Dapping it on. So that's probably about as good as it's going to get for me on the under eyes. I feel like I can never fully get my dark circles covered. I do have pretty dark circles just naturally, and I don't think it's possible to like fully cover them up, but I'm just going to set my under eyes with the Milani Conceal and Perfect powder really quickly. It's a nice powder. I've only used it a couple times, but so far I like it. Seems to be a good shade match. I have it in Fair, in case you're curious. I'm actually going to set the rest of my face with the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana powder highlighter. If you're not familiar with this product, it's a very subtle, most people use it as a highlighter, but it also works as like an all-over face powder, just like a glowy powder. I use it for that purpose sometimes. I don't always like the way it looks, but I think it'll look nice for today. I really need to clean my brushes. It has been so long, and especially with my eye brushes. I'm a little bit better, like marginally better, about cleaning my face brushes because they go on my face and I don't want to like put like super dirty brushes on my face. But with my eyes, I'm like, oh well, I don't have to worry about like breakouts on my eyes, so it's bad. I really need to get it. I think today's the day. Hopefully, we'll see if that happens. I'm just gonna set that using the e.l.f. complexion brush, which I just dropped on the floor. So this is very, very hygienic. Doing a light dusting of that. This powder gives a nice little subtle glow all over the face. It doesn't look like glittery or sparkly or anything like that. It's just nice and glowy, and my hair's in my face. Alright, so there's that, just enough to set the face, but not too much to look like too powdery. So let's do some bronzer and contour and such. So this is the Lolo Sculpt and Glow Contour Duo. I'm going to use my e.l.f. small stipple brush to apply the contour to like my cheekbones, or not my cheekbones, but like the hollows of my cheeks. Just because it looks a little bit more natural when I use a slightly less dense brush for this. I don't really like to do like a harsh contour, but I do like to have a little bit of definition there. Alright, so there's that, just a little light contour. And I'm going to use the Eco Tools blending and bronzing brush to just kind of bronze up the rest of the face using that same the same powder there. A little bit down the neck too, just for fun. You can kind of see my face is looking a little bit more glowy than if I had used like a matte setting powder. I like it. I am really into the dewy look lately. I used to be like all about matte because I used to have really oily skin, and so I thought I had to just like cover that up as much as possible. But now I like the healthy look of just like kind of dewy skin, especially in the summertime, because like my skin, I mean most people's skin in the summertime is naturally a little bit more oily anyway, and so I think it's just nice to kind of like embrace that and not try to like cake on a bunch of mattifying stuff. So for blush, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Rosé Champagne blush. I haven't worn this in a while. It's a nice like peachy shimmery blush. It'll go nicely with kind of like the glowy peachy look that we're going for. It's probably one of my favorite blushes ever. It's just so easy. I feel like I always go a little overboard on blush. It's just so hard to control myself. Like I get so excited about blush. Alright, and then for highlighter, just going back to the Lily Lolo Duo, and I'm just going to take my Real Techniques setting brush to apply this highlighter. If you haven't heard, I love this brush. I don't know why it took me so long to get my hands on it, because it has totally changed my life. Or at least it's totally changed my highlighter game, that's for sure. I used to like not really be that into highlighter because I felt like I couldn't really get it to show up. Turns out I just needed a better brush, and so there you go. Now I know why everyone and their mom uses this brush for highlighter. It all makes sense now. I like to do a little bit on the nose, not too much. I know some people get annoyed when people highlight the tip of their nose, but I don't know. I think it looks nice on me. I mean, maybe it depends on the shape of your face and the shape of your nose, but I don't know, I like it. I think it looks good, so I'm gonna do it. Alright, so there's the lovely highlighter. Yeah, I definitely put a lot on because I really like a glowy look, like I was just saying, so I am going to go ahead and just like do some setting spray to kind of like lock all the face makeup in place. Just the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Sets. I'm like low-key trying to use it up. The sprayer on this is terrible. It's so bad. Like, why? There we go. Okay. So now we're getting ready to get into the eyes, which is really the fun part of this look. I'm gonna just prime my eyelids with the Ulta matte eye primer in the shade Nude. It's just a normal nude eye primer. And I like to kind of let that set a little bit, and so I do my brows next. I'm using the Wet n Wild Retractable Brow Pencil in Taupe. Run the spoolie through first. I really like this brow pencil. My only complaint is the shade is a bit warm. It's not like a true cool toned taupe. So, I mean, it's not like a straight up red or anything, but it definitely pulls warm. Alright, so now you are zoomed in, up close and personal, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the eyes. So, I like to start with just a light shimmery base. The one I'm using is it's one from 100% Pure that is discontinued, but it's just a shimmery, light, kind of pearlescent cream shadow. Any like cream shadow base that's kind of light colored. It doesn't have to be shimmery, just something to kind of help what we're going to put on top of this pop a little bit. Just applying that to like the inner part of my lid and like the center of the lid, and that's it. So this eyeshadow look really only involves 3 shadows, so it's really pretty easy. So I'm going to start by taking a little bit of Tiki with just a regular fluffy crease brush. This particular one is from Eco Tools, and I'm just going to slowly start to build that up in the crease, just more like as a transition shade, but this is really the only thing we're putting in the crease. So this is a pretty light look. It doesn't get too dark and dramatic. Alright, next I'm going to take a Makeup Geek shadow, actually. This is one of their duochrome shadows in the shade Voltage. It's really like a duochrome white gold. So any kind of light gold shadow will be fine. There's also a shade like this in the Balm Nude Dude palette, in case you have that palette and not this shadow. Alright, so I'm just going to take a flat shader brush. This one is from Milani. And I'm just going to pack this onto the inner part of the lid and the center of the lid. And that cream shadow base really helps it pop. So next I'm going to take a slightly smaller kind of crease outer corner brush. This one again is from Milani. Actually, these the shader brush and then this crease brush, which I didn't use, but I totally could have used. These came in a trio. Really nice trio, by the way. You could honestly probably use those 3 brushes for this look, and that would be all you needed. So I am going to actually take some of Tiki now, which is this yellow color from ColourPop. Really like this color. I never thought I would really like yellow eyeshadow. It sounds kind of odd. Like, it doesn't sound like it would be flattering. But I'm really enjoying this shadow. I'm going to take that and kind of just start to put that into the outer corner a little bit. And then we're going to blend it with Tiki. This yellow is nice because it's not like a total neon yellow, but it's still bright. It's almost like a cross between a mustard yellow and a bright yellow. Almost like a sunflower yellow. And so I think it's perfect because it's not too intimidating. It's not like you're just putting like highlighter yellow on your eye. So I really like it. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Wait For It on that same brush. That's the peachy color again. Kind of start to blend that into the outer corner as well. A little bit on top of Tiki, kind of. I don't really know how to explain what I'm doing here. I still want Tiki to show through. I guess I'm just blending this onto like the very outer part of the outer corner and overlapping it a little bit with Tiki, if that makes sense, and then up into the crease. Just kind of on the outer edge, but we still want a little bit of the yellow to show through, kind of in between. It's almost like a gradient situation. I don't know if I'm explaining this well. So I've got that down, and then I think I'm going to take a little bit of Tiki again just on my finger, the yellow, just on my finger, and pat that kind of in between the shimmery lid shade and the peachy shade on the outside, just to kind of I don't know, just like bring out that yellow again. Now I'm going to take my e.l.f. crease brush. It's a smaller crease brush, but it's still pretty fluffy. It's great for like blending out the edges. I'm going to go back and forth between Tiki and Wait For It and just kind of get both of those on my brush. And then use that to kind of blend out the edges right here. So now for just a little finishing touches, we're going to put a little bit of Tiki again in the inner corner. And that's just going to really highlight the inner corner in kind of an unexpected, like fun way. But it just adds a nice pop of fresh, bright color. And you can even bring that up a little bit onto the lid too, just to kind of blend it all together. Alright, so there's that inner corner. Very bright. I really like that a lot. I also just want to highlight the brow bone, again using the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana. This works great as a brow bone highlight. Since it's such a bright look, I kind of want to leave the eyes open. So I'm just going to leave the lower lash line bare. I am going to line the upper lashes and do a little bit of a wing with the Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum in Ultra Black. Crazy long name. Alright. Whew. Broke a sweat trying to do that. Okay. Oh, mascara. I was about to say there's the finished eye look, but no, we do need some mascara. That will help. So I'm just using the Ulta Beauty Plush Drama Volumizing Mascara. Probably going to do about 3 coats, just because I like dramatic lashes. But I'm not about the false lash life, so. And I am going to do a little bit on the lower lash line, just to define it a little bit. So there's that. So can you guys kind of see how the peach kind of fades into the yellow towards the middle of the lid, and then it fades into the like light gold? Can you see that? That's kind of what I was going for. I like that kind of gradient effect. So that's kind of what I was talking about. Hopefully that makes sense. So now all that's left is the lips. I am going to do lip liner, lipstick, and lip gloss. Just going to go all out today. For lip liner, I'm using the Jordana Easy Liner for Lips in Rose Crush. It's just a light peachy pink. And then over that, I'm going to use Wet n Wild Just Peachy. And then the Pacifica Enlightened Gloss in Pink Coral. Liner's done. Another great option would be Wet n Wild, their Liquid Catsuit in Nudist Peach. That would be another good lip color for this. Okay. Just a little bit of lip gloss on top. I think I'm just going to mainly do this in the center of the lip. So there's the finished look. I really like this, especially this time of year. I feel like it's so fresh, and it's a fun way to kind of do a little bit of color without going too crazy. Like, it still looks pretty subdued and muted, I guess, since it's really fresh, bright, peachy. The yellow is kind of unexpected, but it works. So I am really excited about this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. If you did, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!